So let's finally settle the debate. Is gaming only for children?
Oh, let's go.
So if you've played video games for long enough, you've probably come around someone who has probably said to you, "Oh, are you still playing video games? Aren't you an adult?"
Yeah, are you going to grow up anytime soon?
So let's finally settle the score, and to do this argument, this debate, Sal's going to be against video games for adults, and I'm going to be saying it is for everyone, and especially adults.
All right, let's have a look as to why I think, well, I don't personally think this, but I'm going to argue why people think adults shouldn't play games anymore. So we looked online, and our studies actually tell us that video games for adults is actually playing video games for an extended long period of time is actually unhealthy for an adult, both socially and physically. It says that it causes us to have less social skills, and also it's actually not good for our health as we grow older as adults. So that's the argument that's being backed by why adults.
Yeah, but you could say that about watching Netflix. It can be about reading a book, sitting down for too long.
Yeah, but a book is actually going to stimulate your brain to learn more,
So
right?
does Call of Duty. Alright, sir. In retaliation to that, what about those games that are rated at MMA, and they're ratings that are not for children, which shows you that they're for adults.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean necessarily as an adult you should play them just because they're there.
But they're rated for adults.
It doesn't mean it's healthy for an adult to play it just because someone's created it for an
who's
adult.
going to play it then?
Your children.
MMA games.
They do now, don't they?
Nah, so there are some games like Call of the Land, Call of Duty, some games, even horror games like Silent Hill and things like that, Resident Evil, that aren't for kids, designed for adults. So I can name countless games that are for the adults that kids like my son wouldn't know how to play because it's too complicated or too dark or too, graphics.
True.
So,
that's true.
That's
true.
There's a lot of games.
It's a weak argument, but that's great.
All right, you go next.
So the second argument is the fact that as an adult, you should be growing up. And so, you no longer play with your toys, you don't play with your Mighty Max, you don't play with your G.I. Joes, your Hot Wheel cars, and so in the same way, you don't play video games. When you think of video games, think of Mario, think of Crash Bandicoot, and they're all kids games. And so the idea is that you're meant to mature from that and do more adult things like Excel and Microsoft Word.
I've got some stats to contradict that, sir.
Anyone can pull up stats.
Hey, shut up. A survey, in fact, according to a report from Entertainment Software Association, I don't know, I've never heard of that association before, but the average age of today's gamer is 37 years old. Yeah, represents. A survey was done in the UK in 2018 and found that 55% of millennial gamers played in order to cope with stress and unwind. I don't know if that's related to the age, but that's why it's good to play games.
Just to unwind and to... Yeah, fair enough.
Half also said that it felt that gaming was a valuable escape for them from pressures of work. About 20% of gamers felt that playing games had a positive effect on their mental health. And those gamers weren't just blowing smoke, their feelings are backed up by scientific literature. Boom.
Point to Pavs. Well, my third argument is as why adults shouldn't be playing video games is that, the more time you spend playing video games, and it's shown that the less time you have for family, your marriage, and your children. And so, if you're spending hours upon hours playing video games, all of a sudden you start to lose things like you forget about your responsibility as a parent, looking after them. I know of marriages that have broken up because of people being too obsessed with video games and not being at home and investing in their marriages and families.
Well, I guess when you listen to that, that's video games isn't the issue there. It's actually time management, I'd say. So instead of playing video games, people could be watching Netflix or playing sport or gambling or working too much.
Yeah, it's true.
And then not spending time with family. So if you have the balance right,
That's true.
play games all you want, really. So I must say the argument is flawed in that regards of video games.
Ding ding.
So-
So in conclusion, I want to say that I am not against video games for adults.
He
I'm
is.
not a freaking gamer. But what's interesting is this, and the reason why there's a lot of adults playing games is you've got to understand when gaming was birthed in the late 70s, early 80s by Atari, and then obviously Sega. I said Sega, not Sega. Boom. And Nintendo. The majority of people who were playing them were in their late teens, early 20s. And so you look at the same people who were there when gaming was birthed and now grown up in the gaming industry. They're your 30s, 40s, and 50-year-olds today. It's been a part of their whole life. So obviously you see a lot of that age bracket playing games. So it is a kind of a flawed statement that adults shouldn't, because they've been there playing the whole life if you're a gamer. And
True.
who has enough money to spend on games but adults?
And with all that said, we've even bought the latest Call of Duty and even Bayonetta 3. It's kind of collector's edition. So check out this video where we do an unboxing and have a quick look at the game.
No, till next time, peace.